So yeah, podcast episode 1. People are gonna hate it. It's gonna be trash.
Oh, this is going to be super trash, because we didn't know what we were doing. We don't know what we're doing with the camera, and I have no idea the memory card that we put in there.
Well, hopefully it has space to record all the video and audio that we do here.
Hopefully.
You did put in a memory card, right?
Yes,
Okay.
it does. It has a memory card in it.
Oh.
Let's see, what's going on in the world today?
Oh, probably something dumb.
Oh, it's always something dumb. Let's see.
I haven't actually looked yet since I got home, so...
Let me click on the news. News.
Oh, of course it's gonna be news.
Well, it has to be news. That's what podcasts are about.
Oh, sure. Modern commentary at its finest, buddy.
Modern commentary at its finest. Something. Oh yeah, Shin left the Yogscast. I got that update.
I knew that mattered to you.
Oh, it super matters to me. I do love listening to British people while they play Minecraft Trouble in Terrorist Town.
I mean, you kind of knew that was going to turn into a dumpster fire, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's something. It's never a good sign when the president's like, oh, yep, sorry, I did some bad things, bye.
Sorry, I did some bad things, bye. Are you kidding me? That's like Randy Pitchford's entire career, except for the bye part.
Ah, yeah, well.
Oh, I did some bad things. Don't care, though.
Well, I mean, that's every politician ever, too.
Yeah, have you seen the latest stuff with the Borderlands and all that? Did I talk to you about Submato or whatever?
You talked to me about goons that got sent to a dude's house that were like, hey dude!
How did you get that information? Yeah, man, I don't really have any updates since that, but that was a pretty interesting YouTube video by the I believe it was the Quartering I watched talk about that, but other people have.
Yeah? I know that in general, the only thing that I've been hearing more about is that everyone is getting unhappy about the general wokeitude of everybody.
Yeah, that's not the only thing people talk about. I mean, you can look at the controversy surrounding Apex Legends and the Iron Crown event, and people are getting pissed off about loot boxes and stuff. And you know, this has been going back forever. And, you know, we reached this point, right, by companies not giving a shit about these people's feedback. Because first it was horse armor, right, in Oblivion, and everybody got mad. And you know what, though? They just kept selling stuff. People kept making and selling these DLCs, and then they made loot boxes, and it's just become this more and more, this ever more egregious type of methodology to try and gain money from their customers. They don't give a shit about people, really.
That's true. Why would we sell a complete game?
Oh, right in the feels. Because, you know, you got me there. I think back to the days when you would buy computer games in a store, right? And
I remember those days.
Yeah, me too. I used to buy computer games in a store. Heck, I bought Morrowind at the PX.
Woo!
Yeah, that should tell you how long ago I played that, but, no. I think back to that, and I think back to how an expansion used to really kind of mean something, you know?
Oh, yeah.
An expansion was almost like an entire other game just built on the same engine. It was like, hey, you already have these engine files, here's a bunch more content, go. And some DLC manages to rise to kind of close to that level, and some DLC really just doesn't.
That's true.
Like, I really liked, you know, I hesitate to say it, I liked Hearts of Stone, but it didn't really rise to the same level of this is a whole other game. Whereas Blood and Wine kind of did. You know, you had a whole new area, whole new stuff, tons of content. It was just, the difference was pretty great. As much as I loved Hearts of Stone, it wasn't, this is a whole other game.
No, it was a good story, though.
It was a good story.
And shiny.
Well, yeah, that's just winning all around.
Winning all around. What else has happened in the world? Ah, yes, people are still shocked that Epstein died in prison.
Yeah, I don't have any more to say about that.
We don't have anything else to say about Early Access Island.
Oh god, oh yeah. You know, I know I shared that joke with you, but that stuff is just really spicy. Like,
I know, but it's kind of true.
yeah, that didn't make it less gross. I mean, you know, there's a reason why normal people don't like early access games as much as fully developed products.
That's true. Well, I was thinking about Russia for a minute. Like, have I heard, is Russia doing anything crazy right now?
Let's see. The only recent video I saw out of Russia was actually kind of a cool one. That might have been Ukraine. I don't remember. They're gonna get mad because I conflated the two.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, guys.
Super mad.
But it was a video of a kid that had climbed out of a window of an apartment building, and someone else climbed out of a different window of their apartment building to retrieve said kid. It was like a cat in a tree situation, you know?
I mean...
And it was kind of cute. It was a cool video.
That sounds like Russia, where you're just climbing out the window to escape
I have seen
Russia.
some weird Russian parkour videos, man.
Strange Russian parkour.
But, let's see. No, as far as recent events, I didn't actually check the news yet today. There's probably more Epstein garbage out there.
Probably.
But, you know.
But we all know what happened there.
Yeah, we all know what happened there. But,
but
we won't say that.
we don't say that. We just got this big
Move along, nothing to see
We
here.
just got this bit. I see nothing.
I know nothing? Yeah.
That is American politics, because
Oh, man.
if you say what you know, you know.
Well, that's the theory, is he was going to say what he knew, and that didn't go too well. The last thing I heard about that was that he had signed a new will 2 days before his suicide.
Yes. His suicide while under God.
Yeah.
Everyone went out for coffee.
The how can we make this more suspicious story, it just continues to get more suspicious.
That's what happens when you anger the cabal.
Yeah, I was going to say, it is like a straight up Illuminati plot, dude.
You get swept under the rug, too, after you anger the cabal.
You should tell that story about seeing the rug by the highway.
So, yes!
Because that's a story that sounds like swept under the rug. Yeah, buddy. Uh-huh.
So me and my sister and my mom and her friend, her roommate now, we were going to go to the zoo, and we see a large rug rolled up by the side of the highway. And my sister looks over and goes, I wonder if there's a dead body in there. Starts speeding up a little bit more. Well, I mean, shouldn't we call someone, Katie? No.
No. Mr.
No.
Nick, don't call anybody about that. Mm-mm.
No, we can't show concern.
We must never let people know that we saw. Move along.
It's just another corpse. Now, we did call about the fact part of the highway was on fire.
Yeah, your mom told us that story on the trip to Origins.
Yeah, and they didn't want to believe us when we called the city. The city was like, yeah, the highway's on fire. We're like, no.
No, bro, it's on fire.
It's seriously on fire. This is quite serious.
This could be a problem, you know? Yeah, nah, we didn't care.
Like, it was like...
I will say this for our sort of local area, is they're actually really pretty good about that stuff. I know that I was on a trip to a nearby city, and I saw that a semi had run off the road.
Ooh.
And apparently there was some kind of a mix-up where he was going the wrong way or something. I'm not really clear on it, but emergency services was there out of town, like lickety-split, dude. So kudos to those guys down. That's a nice town. I don't go there that much, but every time I've been there, people have been super helpful.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
There was a time where a mattress blew out the back of my truck. and I find myself running across 3 lanes of highway with this mattress held over my, it was a queen size mattress, right? And I'm like, I look like an idiot, you know?
I know that.
This trucker came along and gave me some straps, and great people.
I know that I love going down to their steampunk festival.
I'm really looking forward to doing that with Sean, the other Sean. But I am looking forward to hopefully going with Sean.
It's an excellent high quality event. Every time I've been there, it's been better.
I've never gone, you know.
Also, you can get a lovely hot air balloon ride.
What's it run?
It runs pretty high, and it was
No, buddy, I mean like the cost.
Oh, it was like $25 when I took the hot air balloon ride.
Well, that's not too bad. I kind of hate heights, but I might do it anyway, just because I like to try new stuff. So
yes.
Tell me about this news story then.
So, the Amazon is on fire.
I actually heard about that on Facebook, of all places.
So, I heard about that during a news alert, because at the school all the iPads get news alerts.
Okay.
News. Apparently the fire is so big you can see it from space now. Whew. But they asked Brazil's leader, why aren't you doing something? He's like, well, I just don't have enough.
What the hell is he gonna do about that?
He's like, we just don't have enough money to put out this fire, so it's just gonna burn.
So, this is gonna be an unpopular question. Have you heard of the Smokey the Bear effect?
No.
Well, they did the thing where only you can prevent forest fires, and they prevented forest fires. Well, it turns out that preventing forest fires, at least up here in America, North America that is, actually results in worse forest fires when forest fires do occur, because there's so much underbrush that hasn't been burned.
Ew.
And I found myself wondering if the forests, if the Amazon forest had been logged responsibly, not like clear cut, mind you, just a little bit here and there to clear the brush, a fire here or there, controlled, in a controlled and deliberate conservationist manner. I can't help but wonder if this might have been preventable.
Probably. It was probably greed.
Well, I mean, greed, no, I was actually saying that I suspect, this is conjecture, this isn't anything solid or real, but what if it was the direct result of the environmentalist push to leave the forest alone?
Yeah, well, that's true. Sometimes forests need help.
Well, you know, that's exactly right. I feel like a responsible, well taken care of forest has a certain merit that you might not have been able to enjoy with a wild forest.
True.
And forest fires do happen naturally, but if you go out of your way to prevent them, it can cause you problems in the long run.
Yeah. I did not, in fact, though, I haven't heard anything new about Amaranth really, except for I watched her latest video.
Yeah, I'm sure you did, buddy. I'm sure you did. What was the
YouTube video?
You gonna name drop the Korean lady too? Because I kind of forgot what her handle was.
I forget her name too, but
boy,
does she have fine video quality. It's great.
Content at its finest.
I mean, I'm not sitting there in a smoking jacket.
I'm literally envisioning you with a top hat and a monocle watching this Korean lady dance.
I mean, if that's how you know, we often whine, Sean, and maybe I'm watching Amaranth sitting there with like a tumbler, like, Ah,
yes, the finer things in life.
Hey. But,
oh, man.
I know you can't understand why I get weird relaxation of the ASMR, especially the heartbeat videos.
The why? No, I don't know. I understand that you do, and that is quite sufficient for me to understand the why of you watching them. I will say that they don't work for me.
No, everyone is a little bit different. I know that Kay doesn't like them but loves Bob Ross, which is kind of like a side.
Not really, because you see Bob Ross is always talking about something, and he doesn't do that weird whisper that's really close to the microphone, you know?
No, he doesn't.
He's just a guy who's chill, and he's painting.
I mean, he didn't.
Right?
He is dead now.
Right, but
Yeah,
he was just a guy who was chill and was painting, you know?
it's true.
There wasn't any weird, like, pseudo-sexual component to that I see in a lot of ASMR videos. You laugh, but it's true.
It is true. It is
like
true.
They make these like eating noises, and it's just weird, man. It's weird and uncomfortable.
Do like the weird mouth noises.
Yeah, that does not do it for me, man.
But now I just imagine Bob Ross doing that, and also found that to be just weird.
With the giant hair? There are only happy mistakes. Really?
Yes.
You have weird taste, dude.
I mean, I have taken over Swords of Zarzor, so...
Yeah, sure, but name dropping that isn't going to mean shit to people who watch this.
It's true.
And it would take way more than 11 minutes to explain.
Oh, it would take so long.
So we're just going to gloss over that and move into another segment, right?
Yes. I don't know. Mom was talking about how she hated children today.
Okay, legit, there are some days I hate children too. You know, like...
Well, when you work with them, it's absolutely the case where I'm like, man, people said you shouldn't work with children.
Why are you screaming? Why? There's no reason to be screaming.
I mean... Yeah.
That was my yesterday, man. All the way there. This one kid. I think somebody said something mean to him. And he just lost his shit. And he never quite got it back.
I mean...
Like, I separated him from the other kids, and...
Was it a kid or adult? Because this sounds like...
It was a kid. He was like a second grader, man.
Oh, okay. Because said something and lost their shit.
I just pulled him from the crowd. I said, hey, man, catch your breath. Sit down up here. And don't listen when people say mean things about you, man. Because a lot of the time, what they say doesn't matter.
It's true, but try convincing that to a super, super left liberal thing.
Yeah. That moment where literally everything is serious to those guys, I can't even. Man.
No, and I'm like, we need satire, guys.
Like, people say the left can't meme, and they are right most of the time. Most of those guys cannot joke at all.
Tasty memes.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, and some of them are egregious, but that's kind of the point. That's why 4chan exists, is for those ultra dank, messed up memes that are just completely... Why?
Ultra dank and messed up.
If that the best memes are the ones that make you go, oh, that's horrible, and laugh maniacally at the same time.
Yeah.
That sort of flavor that they provide the mind, that is a simultaneous disruption of every societal norm in a way that is both hilarious and revolting.
That's because everyone became, over the last few years, everyone's gone so far to the... You can't say or imply or sneeze anything offensive.
Well, it's not really true though. They use that in their defense, but they're allowed to be as offensive as they want to other people. They call everybody Nazis. Yeah, Nazis, demonetized. Deal with it.
I mean, we didn't have up the flag, which you can't have, except pixelated.
Yeah, I've watched Ian's videos where he doesn't even have the flag. It's like a completely different messed up flag. It's not even close.
It's great. I love it.
I love Ian's videos too.
Not just because he has an amazing beard that I'm trying to emulate.
Oh, you so jelly.
I am jealous of that beard.
Mostly just because I like stories about weird weapons. I thought the one where you put the two guns together by the bayonet was hilarious.
Did you,
I was like, yep, that's something I would have seen when I was in the army.
Did you see the pepper box that shot tear gas?
I did see that. I don't know if that would have been effective or not, and neither does he. I feel like, maybe it scares people away, maybe it pisses them off. I don't know. I get the feeling it was like something to get the dogs off of you if you're the mailman, Like, back, Fido, back! You can't come running to bite me because I'm just delivering the mail. Leave me alone, you little bastard.
I saw that and thought, I just want a .410 revolver.
You can buy them. They exist.
I know they do. The tourist, the judge. But, I don't know. I wish things like that could be effective, because part of me wants to wear a gas mask and be like the Sandman.
Yeah, but the little pepper balls, they don't work quite the same way as like a CS grenade would.
No, and you couldn't get enough gas in there anyway.
It's my understanding that even modern, like, tear gas sort of projectiles that are shot out of regular weapons, you're supposed to shoot them in the ceiling and it rains the stuff down.
Yeah. You shoot in the ceiling, it rains the stuff down.
That's not really, it's not remotely the same as
The only thing that they have that's remotely like that is in India they have pure capsaicin oil in things that are like paintballs.
Yeah, I don't know that I would
But-
use something like that.
No, 'cause the
It
pure
just doesn't seem like it would be that good.
It is, it'll melt your skin. But
Sure, but so will a lot of stuff, Nick.
that's true. That's true. It is not, I don't know. They use it for riot control, and I don't know how effective it is. I haven't been at a demonstration in India.
Man, you want to see some riot control. The actual grenades that make the cloud, those things are horrible.
Yeah, we should get to a clip of the actual riot grenade. No, this is a real riot, kids.
You know, that was one of my favorite scenes in Reno 911, right? Like, they do this thing where they want to get rid of the microwave, and one of them whips out a grenade, and I'm like, you got a grenade? Where'd you get a grenade? So...
Was it a tear gas grenade?
Oh, come on, spoiler. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So they pull the pin, throw it in the microwave, shut the door, thinking the microwave is going to explode. Well, the grenade pops off, and the door pops open on the microwave, and then the smoke comes out, and they're like, "Oh God, no!" You know, like they're all coughing. It's great. It kind of reminded me of how horrible CS gas is. Actually, it's terrible.
It's pretty awful. I know that you can't. I asked my dad, who works in corrections, why you can't just have a dispersal unit for if the people get out of hand. So you'd be like pull a lever and be like, all right, everyone has a mask on. We're gonna fill this with this CS gas.
Mostly because asthmatic people have trouble if you do that.
Yeah, I guess that's true because asthmatic people.
It's not really it's not 100% safe. It's what you call less than lethal.
It is.
It's it's also definitely not humane.
I mean, yeah.
Straight up, this is gonna be like on par with waterboarding. It's terrible. And that moment, though, Nick, I sent money to my PayPal, and when it gets there, I'm gonna pre-order Cyberpunk, and it's gonna be amazing. Because Cyberpunk.
Well, I'm Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves, CD Projekt Red. Seems like a winning recipe.
Seems like a winning recipe. I want to find an Easter egg dolphin.
Easter egg dolphin?
Yes.
I don't know anything about that.
I heard rumors that there might be an Easter egg dolphin to reference Johnny Mnemonic.
Oh, that would be fucking awesome.
That was
Johnny Mnemonic was one of those 80s flicks that was trash and amazing at the same time.
It was great.
I love the guy with the finger whip. That was so baller, dude.
Yes.
I love those films. I was just talking to someone at work today how they do not make movies like the 80s anymore.
No.
Like that moment in the 80s where RoboCop came out. You can tell these people gave more of a shit about their art than they did about pandering to some people who wanted like mohawk wearing women to be the protagonist or some shit.
I mean, you can't pander to people who don't watch movies, or you shouldn't.
You totally can though. Everybody tries to.
Well, yeah, but that's how your stocks plummet.
I hate the whole like reboot, remake, sequel trend. That Hollywood, it's like they ran out of ideas, man, and I hate that.
They need to create a house of ideas.
Well, that totally worked for Disney, except that it didn't. I can't say that they've done anything all that interesting since Tangled.
Right, but they stopped using their house of ideas after a while.
I don't know, man.
It's not that it didn't work, it's just that when you stop using something, it can't work.
I don't know, but...
It'd be the equivalent of me having a robot prosthetic leg and throwing it over there and just being like, it doesn't work.
Well, who could have foreseen this? Sure. But I don't know that the whole house of ideas is necessarily the way to go. I think it's just they're cashing in on franchise stuff because people are like, oh, I liked this one, the new one will be the same. More of the same? Yes, please. And that worked for a while, like in the late 90s, but it's gradually gotten worse and worse and worse, and they try less and less hard with every reboot, and you end up with these crap movies and nobody gives a shit about the franchise anymore. I mean, look at The Last Jedi, dude. Even if you ignore the whole, like, Mary Sue wokeness crap, the movie itself didn't stand on its own.
No, it was...
There was a bunch of stuff that didn't make any fucking sense for the world.
No, it was a cinematic failure on all counts, and...
Right. And, well, it looked nice. Looking nice just isn't really enough for a movie.
No, and we have technology to make lots of things look nice.
Even Avatar, which mostly got by on looking nice, at least it had a somewhat coherent plot. It had some cool stuff. It had a romantic side story, you know?
And it had
sure, it was kind of like a modern Fern Gully eco-preachy kind of thing, but it was okay. It was
wasn't
okay.
as good as Fern Gully.
Well, that's because Fern Gully had Tim Curry in it, and Tim Curry is a god at being fucking creepy.
So, how much...
That is the only movie that ever scared me, man.
So, how much would you have lost your shit in real D, 3D if you'd been watching Avatar, Nexus comes out of the black pit of the earth?
Or if he came out of that giant tree they were trying to protect, like, oh, the bad guys won, and they chop the tree down and fucking Hexus pops out?
Yeah!
I'd have been like, shit, dude!
What? Yeah, then you cut after the dude from the Mexicans cut down the tree. You cut.
Oh, we cut down
Avatar
the tree.
2.
Sucks to be you.
Avatar 2. We stopped the giant blue people. We what's this bubbling tar?
You know, that'd be interesting because you seldom actually see a movie where the bad guys win.
I think it would have been refreshing.
But the toxicity, Hexus was basically like a toxic spirit straight out of Shadowrun, man.
He was.
He freaking possessed the machine that cut down the trees and thrived upon the corruption of all things living and dead. He was terrible, man.
He had incredible dark magic. It was
pretty great. He was straight up a toxic spirit out of Shadowrun. And horrible. Easily the scariest bad guy I've seen as a kid, anyway. I can't think of anyone better.
I can't think of anyone better either.
You know, it creeped me out, because I was like, okay, they cut down this bad tree where this guy was locked away, and he just oozed out of the boards like some kind of horrible death slime monster. He looked like a skeleton when he was animated in his slime form. He was scary, dude. Plus Robin Williams was entertaining. So really that was kind of a great movie in a lot of ways.
Robin Williams was always entertaining.
Yeah. You know, I was scared at the time, but I look back now and I really appreciate that film.
Oh yeah. I mean, but yeah, the movie industry needs to start giving a crap again.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I mean, at least Alita was good, but again, it was not a new idea. It had been done twice before, first in the manga and then in the anime.
Yeah.
So even a well-done reboot, well, this has value, it's ultimately going to be limited in terms of what you can do for novelty. You know, it lacks newness.
Now
it was new to me because I hadn't ever watched the anime or read the manga, and that really helped. But it's not like a completely new IP.
No. I think part of it is that directors are scared to do new stuff now.
I don't know if that's necessarily true. I think it's a writing issue. And because a lot of these corporations expend massive amounts on advertising, and they don't want their movie to flop because it's some idea they've never heard of. I mean, there are exceptions. Get Out was apparently really good. I don't really go in for horror, and I didn't watch it, but it was very popular. It was very well liked. And it was kind of a new idea, to my knowledge. Whereas Us kind of flopped. And I didn't watch it. I'm not a horror movie guy. And I actually kind of like the concept of doppelgangers as a monster, but...
I know, but I just heard that after Get Out, that guy's writing went to crap for no reason.
I don't know. I didn't watch either, so I can't speak to it.
Twas the rumor I heard.
I heard that he got super woke and said, "I'm not gonna cast any white people," and I was like, "Okay, dude, you do you," but
I'm okay with seeing an all-black cast, but
you know, it works for some settings, like Friday. Friday was hella entertaining.
but I wasn't.
I mean, it was a comedy, but
The
it was
reason I
good.
didn't watch Get Out was I wasn't into the pseudo Manchurian Candidate vibe they had going.
I didn't really get any of that from the trailer. I saw the trailer and I'm like, okay, they want the black guy to leave, and that was literally all I got. I couldn't figure out what the movie was supposed to be about. I'm sorry.
Other trailers that I watched, it was basically about like hypnotism and weird stuff. There's a lot of weirdness.
Well, I mean, it was a horror pick, and that's usually full of bizarro trash. I mean, like I said, I don't really go in for them. Most of the time, they don't frighten me, they don't thrill me. I'm just like, what was the point, you know? There were exceptions. I kind of liked Cube, but that wasn't strictly a horror pick, per se, so much as a sci-fi pick about the horrors of being human, you know? Because the humans are the bad guys in that movie. All of them, really. Except for the retarded kid. Oh, I can't say that on YouTube though. The
special needs kid.
Yeah, the savant guy, Rain Man.
The Rain Man.
Because that was like his superpower, is he could calculate numbers, and the girl who was smart used him to figure out which cubes were safe to move to or whatever. But it was you don't watch the movie for the premise; you watch it for the interpersonal drama.
It's true.
But
I don't know. I want to see surrealism come back. I want to see.
You just want to see some weird garbage that doesn't make any sense. Although, to be fair, Devilman Crybaby had some of that going on, where the animation would change, and then stuff would just take a left turn into what the gland.
So, that's what I liked about the fact that Devilman Crybaby was like, we're going to do a surrealist story.
It definitely pushed the edge a little bit more than most stuff you see these days. And I hate to say it, but I think Japan is doing a better job at that than anything we've done in the US for some time now.
Well, Japan now, like, I've been looking at a lot of stuff and they're like, let's just push the envelope like it's,
you know, and
1980s.
even relatively tame stuff, like Rising of the Shield Hero. If you look at this on the surface, it's basically a Knight in King Arthur's Court or any other sort of out-of-this-world, fish-out-of-water story. It's very bland. And then people latch on to this one plot element really early on, and they're like, no, we hate it because this thing. I'm not going to get into that. Other commentators have done it to death. But I'm like, you guys are mad about that? That's just a freaking plot point, dude. You're missing the point of the story.
Yeah. Point of the story was...
Well, the point of the story was, it was a fish-out-of-water story where the guy who was at a disadvantage worked through his disadvantages.
Yeah.
That is to say, a disadvantage of information known and a disadvantage of reputation that was sort of burdened onto him at the start.
I think that the sword hero is going to grow because he became dead set and determined to at the end.
Well, I mean, that's true. I would like to see all of them kind of... especially the spear hero, because he's got that sort of derpy thing going on. But
he's super blonde-tastic.
He did kind of tell his friend off at the end there in a way that made me think he maybe has some potential if he just pays attention to stuff.
Yeah, he's super blonde.
He is such a derp, though. Oh my god.
He's a male blonde stereotype.
He is a stereotype. You're not wrong.
And for a while he had the almost I have a man bun thing going on. They switched up to like Geralt hair.
Yeah.
But like when he first gets there, I'm like, what the hell are you doing, Mr. McMahon Bun?
Oh man, he is. The thing that catches my amusement about that guy, and this is all I think deliberate in the writer of the story did this on purpose, is that he, of all the heroes, is far and away the most, hands-on.
Yeah.
He seemed like he'd be into the struggle snuggle, and
he does seem super rapey.
Well, the way he treated
Philo was
Es-
super creeptastic.
Especially with the I went and got a magic item to deliberately restrict you from form changing and using your powers to fight me off. That's a little bit creepy.
That was bad. And then there was Bow Hero that was like, get out of here because I can admit when I'm wrong.
I think the best part about
and
Bow
I
Hero.
love hanging out with mustached racists.
I think the best part about Bow Hero was that he was like trying so hard to
be
fight
Robin
the power and be a rebel. Yeah.
When he was just a murder hobo.
Right. He went like full chaotic neutral D&D, and I'm like, really, dude?
Filling the land.
And then Sword Guy is all like, I'm an edgelord, I fight alone.
He went Batman. Yeah. He said he was Batman.
He did. And I've seen this happen so many times in other stories, and I'm just like, you look like a dork, dude.
Well, what you have to understand is that when you have black hair, you have to be Edgelord 5000.
Yeah, that seems like an anime trope, really. You know, I mean, you look at Sasuke and other anime characters.
Vegeta did it first. Where
Vegeta, sure. Well, I'm a bad guy, and now I'm a good guy, but I'm still kind of bad.
Vegeta, and then it was Yu Yu Hakusho had that.
I didn't actually watch Yu Yu Hakusho much.
I watched a shit ton of Yu Yu Hakusho, but I liked the dude with Rosewhip, but it's been like, more than a decade since I watched Yu Yu Hakusho.
But, let's see. I'm sure there were other instances of this. I mean, besides obviously Sword Art Online, for obvious reasons of obviousness. My god, that guy took that trope to 11, dude.
Trope Master 5000.
He was like, Edgelord meter doesn't go far enough.
I'm gonna rip the knob off and eat it.
Right? Like, it's okay, Kirito, calm down. So I kind of see where you're coming from, where a lot of characters that have the dark hair kind of fall into that trope.
I'm waiting for... I want to see that.
Although I will say, a subversion of that, Mob Psycho, because that guy's not dark or edgy at all.
True. And I want to see the piss get taken out of that in One Punch Man.
Yeah.
Because One Punch Man likes to take the piss out of them tropes.
I kind of want to watch the second season of that. Is that coming out anytime soon?
Yeah, I think it's out. I know they're done. I know they're working on the third season.
Man, talking about anime, we could always get into the Vic Mignogna discussion.
Oh no! I mean, a lot of people are going to lose a lot of money if he's successful. I think he might be.
He's got a pretty good case, I think, from what I've seen of it.
Something, don't break contracts, something, something, have proof.
This is, in my mind, the inevitable consequence of Me Too as a movement, man.
I mean...
The let's just punish people without proof thing, the skipping steps in the judicial process, and going to the court of public opinion.
You can't do that.
I feel like this backfiring on you is on those people is like inevitable. It was bound to happen sooner or later.
It was, and it something. People love vigilantism.
Yeah, I mean, on the one hand, there's a certain romanticism about it, but on the other hand, when it comes to actually putting that sort of thing into practice, it's pretty much impossible to do well. It's why we have a justice system.
Yeah, and it's why the Me Too movement hasn't worked, because you can't just...
It seems to have fizzled out and died, really. I haven't seen too many people getting Me Too'd lately.
No, and that's because...
I'm kind of hoping it stays dead, because it was a dumpster fire, man.
Well, something, and then...
The skipping steps in the judicial process
and then it hurts actual women's credibility in general.
Yes, it does.
Which is a tragedy, because, bad things do happen to women.
Is it a tragedy? I mean, I don't know. See, because it hurt their credibility, you have to question how credible are they? Like, what percentage of accusations are lies? It's hard to prove,
Yeah.
It's hard to prove people guilty, and it's hard to prove people innocent, definitively one way or the other.
Correct.
And that's why our justice system, it works the way that it does, is so that we don't punish innocent people.
Right.
Our justice system is designed around the philosophy that it's better to let a guilty man go than to punish an innocent one.
Correct.
Or woman, although even they let a lot of guilty women go. You know, the whole like statistic where women get less prison time less often. You know, oh hey, we don't go to prison as much, and when we do, we don't go as long for the same offense because woman. That's fun shit right there.
I mean, that's a holdover from the age of imperialism when women were super put on the pedestal of...
Are we sure it's not further back than that?
I mean, it started rising during the Romanticism of the medieval period into the Renaissance. And
yeah, I can see that. I could see an argument for that.
I start seeing more and more art where women are just actually, in some cases, literally put on pedestals.
Yeah, I mean, the Romantic movement and tales of, say, Guinevere.
Yes. And, you know...
Cheated on her husband, everybody still loved her. Yeah.
I mean...
And Lancelot.
Come on, man. I mean...
Yeah, whatever. But...
Well, ignore the fact that I love those tales of Romanticism because I'm super ancient.
You know, I think that those tales of Romanticism are part of why we have what we have today with regards to the way people are treated differently.
Yes. Yes, they are. Because they tell you that it's okay to treat people differently.
Sure. You know, that's a fair point. Noblemen are treated differently from peasants. Women are treated differently from men. Everybody has a place in that system.
Yes. And then we try to switch over, but we still hold on to these ideas that everyone has their place, everyone goes on to their...
And that's a fair point. When we switch over to the system of democracy and everybody being hypothetically equal, you run into these holdover cultural standards from a time before that. I can see how that kind of gets us where we are. But I don't know that I approve of it. Because I feel like it puts us in a situation where people are trying to get the best of both worlds and kind of pull one over on society. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, well, watch out. Pulling one over on society is a dangerous game. Society is cruel.
I don't know, man. You know, I think that won't be a problem because the cultural norms are still in place. And I think they'll get away with it for probably several more decades before people catch on the rest of the way. There's a few people who've kind of like thought about this now, but they're not that common. Not everybody's critical, you know.
Several more decades when I have cool robo body and new robo spine.
Dude, you need a robo spine.
I need a new spine bad. I need replacement parts.
You know, it's funny because the anime of Alita had actual...
Robo-spine.
He had him jacking people for their spines, because apparently they didn't have the technology to make robo-spines anymore.
Yeah, I need a robo-spine.
Yeah, apparently the spine was like the most important part of the robot guy.
It is, because a lot of them still held their brainstem, their entire spinal cord.
Yeah.
Basically, your head is still human, and then like everything else is just, you know, supporting your brain box.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, but spines, they're important.
I would not want to be spine jacked.
No, that would suck so hard.
Especially because first I get like harpoons through my legs. Like drill harpoons through my knees. Drill to the floor.
Yeah, that was a weird anime, man.
Well, alright. This has been like the first episode of A Moment for Thought.
Gods help us all.